So then, when you bought the next house, was that the house that you ended up living in, you and grandma, or was that also an investment property after Fifth Street?
Let's see, that was a single family.
Okay.
But I got brakes on it.
Mm.
The man, the realtor,
Mm-hmm.
we went to look at it. That was a ad in the paper and so on. We went to look at it, and we liked the house, but we wasn't sure if we could make the payments on it.
Mm.
And we were told that if you miss a payment, they will take the house away.
Yeah.
See, that wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
You got to miss more than one payment.
But they didn't want us to have no homes, so I'm sure they was trying to scare you.
Yeah, and that was scary enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to lose the house. Now, to give you an idea of what I'm saying here, if you miss a payment, we was paying $37. Let me see, get that right. I may have told you this story. You remember me saying something about $37?
I don't remember how much. I remember you. I do remember the story, but I don't remember how much you said y'all had to pay. I'm fascinated if it's 37. Man.
The house we was renting at the time when we bought the first house that we lived in, we had bought the one on Fifth Street.
Right.
But then when it was time to buy the next one, looked like we was paying $37 a month. And the payments on this house was going to be, what was it going to be? No, we was paying $65 a month.
Okay.
Right across the freeway from where we bought the house.
Okay.
Yeah. And we was wondering, could we pay we was paying $65 a month. And we was wondering if we could pay, looked like 37 was in there somewhere. I can't get that straightened out. But anyway, we decided we're gonna plunge. We're gonna take a plunge.
Okay.
The realtor man, he says, that's a good decision you just made. See, that's a good one. You can pay that money.
Yeah.
And now I'm paying $65 a month, and I'm wondering if I can pay 37.
Okay, you wanted to get it down.
Yeah, I wanted to get it down where I wouldn't lose it. That's what I was concentrating on.
Mm-hmm.
And the realtor man said, yeah, you can make the payments on this house.
Okay.
And he says, and I'm going to help you. There was a man had put a bid in on this house before I got there, before we got there.
Man.
And he says, I got a bid on this house, but I haven't turned it in yet. And he says, I'm going to turn in your bid. He said, you and this young lady make a nice couple.
That's all right.
And I'm gonna work it so that you can get the house instead of him.
Wow. Man, that's something. So you really have found, see, so it wasn't just your grandfather that found you that favorable. You've been getting that for a little while now. Because he saw something in you.
I guess so. That's what he said. He said, yeah, I'm gonna fix it so you can get the house instead of him.
Wow.
Because he was there first, had turned his bid in.
Mm-hmm.
But when we came along, he liked us, I guess.
God's favor, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you was able to get that house even though somebody had put a bid in before you. So then at this point, you got your own place that you're living in. You got Fifth Street that you're making money off of.
Yeah.
And you working, for the county.
Yeah. So that's kind of how that worked. And the next house we bought, the man and his wife, used to come to Florida, and like I'm doing,
Okay.
the snowbird.
Oh, okay, okay.
And his wife passed, and now when he come from Florida back to Milwaukee, it's getting to be work for him now. He's getting older, and there was no wife. He ain't got too many reasons to be working.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'm thinking about selling this house and move to Florida.
Yeah.
And he says, I think I want to see you guys with this house. Now that was 13th Street.
Okay.
Now we're upgrading you now.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
that was nice.
We're moving on up.
Oh man.
Yeah. So we talked, and he said, well, when I come back to Milwaukee after this trip, he says, if you're still looking for a house, we'll talk.
Okay.
And when he came back, he stuck to his words. He came back and looked us up, and 13th Street
It was yours.
yeah.
Wow.
And he was asking $1,400 or $14,000.
Okay.
And I done forgot some of the details now, but he says, I'm gonna knock $2,000 off
Come on.
for you.
Yeah. We'll take that.
And we hadn't even gotten into the nitty gritty part. So when he said that, man, we both lit up.
Yeah. So well, let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Wait, did you mention how you met him? How did you come across this guy?
He had a sign.
Okay.
He had a sign out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at this point, you was looking for another place.
Yes.
You was like,
Yes.
we doing good with what we got.
Yeah.
He was like, let me go ahead and expand the portfolio a little bit.
All right. So that's how that turned out. And he knocked $2,000 off. And he said then that I believe that he called us the couple.
Okay.
I believe your couple was going to take care of the house. And he had bought the house years ago.
Okay.
And I know he had paid for it. But that's how that turned out.
Man.
And I got breaks like that, and I hadn't even thought about some of those breaks I got. But some of those breaks was healthy. I mean, they, $2,000 back in the 50s, somewhere back there.
Right, right. Late 50s, maybe early 60s.
Yeah.
That was good money right there.
Oh yeah.
2,000 off sound like a great deal. I mean, I'd take 2,000 off right now.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great deal today, but I can only imagine back then.
Yeah.
So with 13th Street, you ended up moving into that house, right?
Yes. We were living on 11th and Burleigh.
That was the first house that you lived in.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got rid of that one and I'm moving into 13th Street.
I sold that one.
So, right. So
I sold that one because the neighbors that was coming in, they drove me out.
Oh wow, for real?
When I saw them coming with their furniture, that's what drove me out. Yeah. Now we have to get out of this neighborhood because it's going the other way, down.
Yeah.
And it went down, and it's all the way down now.
You see?
Yeah.
So you made the right move when you needed to.
Yeah. So that's kind of how that worked, and talking about it, things come to mind that I hadn't even thought about. Yeah, like I said, them neighbors coming in there, they drove me out. They didn't have to tell me.
Yeah, so the climate was changing.
Yeah, it was changing.
That's how it goes.
Very much so.
So then 13th was really instrumental in building the family, right? That's That's when the kids started to come in.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially that rascal, your oldest. That's the first house she lived in, wasn't it?
Yeah, what house did I say?
13.
13? No, that wasn't the first house. The first
Oh.
one was the one I moved out of when I moved to 13.
You're right. No, I was saying 13th Street is the first street that my mom lived on. Am I mistaken?
No, that was 11th Street. She lived on 11th Street.
Oh, okay.
And we stayed on 11th Street, I think, I didn't know how many years. But anyway, she was born on 11th Street.
Okay.
And then when we moved to 13th Street, I added a room to that house. That had two bedrooms.
Okay.
And with the boys and girls, we needed another room.
Right.
So I added a room to 13.
There you go. There you go. Probably had cousin Gasper involved in that one as well.
No, I had that built.
Okay.
I had that room built.
Gotcha.
So, but it has worked out. You mentioned about the guy wanted me to have that house and some other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that paid off. That paid off, and I didn't think about it that way. Way back in the day.
Right.
What I wanted to do, I wanted to get there was 4 more houses I wanted to get. And then I was going to forget about the jobs and I'm just going to do real estate.
Mm-hmm.
My helpmate didn't like that idea. She wanted me to have a job to go to.
Right.
And where she can count the money.
And real estate was a little risky business, huh?
It was a little risky, but I could have made it if I had done that.
Believe that.
But, you know, time like that, you give in a little bit sometimes.
They say relationships all about compromise, right?
Yeah.
So I ain't mad at that.
No.
But I mean, clearly, she, had a change of heart, because for you guys to wind up having 14 properties in total, I mean, that's a pretty decent number,
Yeah, that was a lot of property.
Right. So you went over just 2 of those, So after 13th, you got significantly more experience down the line. So I mean, which one of those stands out the most to you? Like as far as just like being like a really good investment.
Well, I think the building that we bought was a big plus.
Yeah, talk about that, Grandpa. That had to feel great, right? When you finally own that and you was like, I got units. You know what I mean? Like, how did that feel?
Well, I guess I didn't feel the glory part of it too much because I had to work. Man, to make that building beneficial, I had to jump out there and swim deep, man.
Man.
Yeah.
So when you first bought it was in pretty bad condition. Huh?
Bad condition. Well, only 3 units operating.
Oh, wow. At 8, right? Total?
8, yeah.
It was 8 units. I remember that building.
Yeah. So there's 5 down.
Mm-hmm.
And they ain't just down a little bit. It's down below down. It's way down.
Drowning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
So what was what's like one of the biggest issues that was going on at that time?
Well, at the building, you mean?
At the building, yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, they had the old plumbing. They had the old tubs, sinks, and toilets. That's what I'm trying to say.
So you had to redo all of the units?
All the units that I had to tear out and put back.
Good. Man.
I got help on that though.
I bet.
Yeah. I says when you take a toilet out, throw it out the window. Don't even bother carrying it down there, because I'm not gonna do anything with fixing that.
It's a wrap.
And I switched to plastic.
Okay, yeah. It's a lot easier to move.
Oh yeah, it's easy to fix too.
Mm-hmm. That porcelain is a little difficult.
Yeah, and so I did all of the kitchens, tore that all out, and I can do that myself.
Okay.
But all that the stuff out of the toilets and that, I have the windows open, big.
Mm-hmm.
Out you go.
Man.
Yeah, and that's what saved me on the building really,
Mm-hmm.
because had I not done that, I was going to be up there every day fixing something.
Right. So better to replace than repair.
That's right.
Mm.
Yeah. So that I took that route, and I learned that through the same guy that started me with the hot water tank.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, he was a really big, he was a big help.
Oh yeah. But see, you have to be able to listen in order to absorb some of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when your turn comes, you step up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't move in pride.
No. So that was my way up, I guess you would call it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And so at that time, how many properties had you owned?
I don't know. I see Cherry Street. I can't name them.
Okay.
It'd take me more time to.
But you had significant experience by the time you got to
yeah.
the building.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then them people start acting a fool in the building.
I bet. Finding one tenant can be hard, let alone 8 good tenants. I mean,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. So.
But I'm sure you knew that at that time, because like I said,
Oh
you
yeah.
already had houses.
I knew that, but I hadn't experienced because I was getting rid of some of them along the way.
Right.
The troublemaker was brewing,
Mm-hmm.
and I got my pencil.
Signed off.
Sign off.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's pretty incredible though. That really is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, you know, I think I'm back. I didn't really realize what was going on when I would come with you to that building sometimes. Like,
Okay.
I mean, I knew Grandpa was working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it didn't really hit me until I got older that was like your building. You know what I mean? Like landlord over units and responsible for everything, you know? Not just like a day job type of situation, but like really like working.
No. But see, I had experience too to take me the second half of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because you learn the type people that takes care, and you learn the ones that don't, and then you start to weed out some of them, and that's what I did. Generally speaking, people like to buy a house that need all this, and I can do that. I can fix this, and I got a good house now.
Mm-hmm.
But it don't work quite like that.
Yeah.
You got to put something in every house that I bought. I went to work and bringing it up to date.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't leave. The man told you look at what's going bad. The house is good, just need some 10 or 11 care.
That's it, TLC.
And see, that fit my agenda like a glove. That's all you need. Yeah, I can handle it. And I know Brown, he got a bunch of houses, but he was buying junk.
Mm.
And he gonna fix it up and gonna make a killing.
Mm.
He asked me if I wanted to go in with him. I said, no, I'm gonna stay. If we can make it big, no, I'm gonna stay little.
Mm. Oh man.
So that's what I decided to do, because some of those houses he was buying, I don't want no parts of them.
Yeah. That was more than what he probably was thinking it was gonna be.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Plus, he went through, replaced windows and all this stuff. He get a call that the window broke. Well, he go over there, and the window wasn't just broke. It was upstairs, and they took the whole window case and all
My goodness.
down on the ground, smashed.
Sheesh. So the
But-
window wasn't broke, it was gone.
That's it. And he just put it in. Just got to put
Oh
it in.
man. I
I
know
mean-
that hurts.
Yeah, that hurts.
For sure.
Oh, so that's the way it goes sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I never liked it junk.
Right.
And the first house we bought on 11th Street, where we stayed there for a good little while,
Mm-hmm.
and the man said they painted this house the same color all the way through.
Okay.
It was a light, like this wall here.
Okay, like off-white kind of?
Yeah, off-white.
Mhm.
And so now you can paint the house, the rooms, any color you want. Because it's painted, the whole house was painted,
Good.
but it was all one color. Because trying to paint for somebody else and you don't know what they like,
Right,
you may not pick the right one.
right.
So they painted it off-white, and then I could go in there and paint whatever color I wanted.
Okay.
But now that was the inside. The outside had, what is it? It was paneling. Is it paneling? Yeah. it had-
Oh, yeah, so you had to get the siding? Like,
yeah, the
Mhm.
siding.
mm-hmm.
And I was told that paint wouldn't take on that siding,
Right.
that type. It's okay. We moved there in the wintertime, November,
Mm.
and there was some extra pieces there that wasn't used when they was putting the siding on the house.
Mm-hmm.
And it had snowed already. And so I took 3 or 4 pieces and threw it out in the snow. I said, well, it'll be a good test for me. Throw it out there, and when it comes spring, when the sun shine on it, if it don't, crack the paint,
Right, you know it's good.
yeah, I know it's okay.
Okay, that's pretty good test.
Yeah,
Did it crack?
it didn't crack.
Okay. So you was like, y'all all right.
I got on it then and painted the outside. So I got a new house now.
That's pretty fresh.
Yeah. What happened, the house had caught on fire.
Okay.
And it burned, and whoever owned it went back and, put it back in shape. So when I came, it was all already fixed.
Mm-hmm.
It just if I would needed some paint, different room color,
Mm-hmm.
and so I didn't bother with that. I'm working on the outside when the spring came. I'm getting it, shaped up.
Uh-huh.
So that paint didn't crack. So it must be all right.
Good to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how I dealt with it.
What about what led you to move into Birch Street? Where did that decision come from? How did that come to be?
Butch.
Birch, that was the last house you lived in before where you're at now, right?
Oh yeah.
Was that called Butch Street?
Yeah, that was Butch. I forgot all about Butch Street.
You had me feeling like I had the wrong name. I'm like, man, I thought I knew that one.
Yeah. No, we lived on Butch. What made me move from there?
No. What made you move there? Into the house?
Oh, your grandmother was working at Bayshore.
Oh, okay, right down the street.
Yeah, and she used to go through the park. We lived on 13th
Okay.
at the time. And she used to come 13 and down to the park where you go into...
Mm-hmm. I know that part.
Yeah, and so she would drive by there every day. She saw the sign up.
Mm.
And she kept on asking me about go by and take a look. Oh, we ain't ready to buy no house now. Yeah. So she kept on. I didn't tell her, but I drove by there, and it didn't look bad. Didn't look bad. So I agreed. She liked it so well. I agreed to go ahead and buy it.
Right there on the corner,
Yeah.
you know, right by the mall, nice little spot.
Yeah.
Man. And you said you moved from 13th to there.
I have to think, Nick. I can't spit them questions out. Yeah, that's been.
Hey, I'm trying to figure it out because if you
when I left, where'd you ask me? Did I leave from Butch?
Yeah, right. Well, no, I'm saying, did you leave from 13th to Birch, or was there somewhere in between?
Let's see.
It had been.
We went from 13. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
13 to Butch.
Gotcha. So majority of the properties that you own really was income. Cause you said you lived in 11th and it was.
They call it Burleigh. It was between Burleigh and Ring.
Mm-hmm. That was the first one, and then you moved to 13th, and then it was Birch, and then where you're at now around there. Those are houses that you lived in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's how it went.
Gotcha. And then there was 10 other properties that you was able to put some TLC in, like you said.
All right.
And work it out. That's cool. Well, now I asked specifically about Birch because, you know, for me that's grandma and grandma's house.
Yeah.
That's the first house that I ever knew you to live in.
All right.
So that's what's got all the special memories and everything to me. So I was just curious as to, you know, how that decision came about.
Well, it brewed from it only had one bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And had 2 bedrooms. And she would always say, I really would like a house with 2 bathrooms, at least 2, and 3 bedrooms. This house had 1 bath and 2 bedrooms. She wanted 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. Okay, so she was over that for a while. And so I finally said, I'm going to stop by there. I didn't tell her, but I just made up my mind, I'm going to stop by there and see what this house looked like. And the house looked nice and needed some TLC, and I'm good for that. You know? And so you remember that little porch deck on the back?
Definitely.
See, that wasn't there.
That was all you, huh?
Yeah. So that's how we wound up there from 13th. Plus, 13th Street had started to kind of get loud and Saturday nights and you know, that kind of thing.
Party and stuff going on.
Yeah.
But Birch was quiet.
Yeah.
That was a nice neighborhood.
Yeah, it was nice.
I like driving by there when I go to Milwaukee.
Yeah, so that's how that turned out.
So you built that bathroom downstairs in the basement? Did you do that? And Birch Street?
And Birch? No, it was just a toilet down there.
Okay.
It wasn't a full bath.
Right.
A toilet.
Gotcha.
So I know that was there.
Okay.
Yeah. But there wasn't no room to add another bedroom down there. And she wanted a bedroom.
We used to make it work. Them Christmases and Thanksgivings that we came up, it was a lot of us, but we made it work.
Yeah, it worked.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's kind of how that turned out. And then the other houses, I don't even remember where some of them at now. Cherry and Relite, wherever else they were.
That's just investments along the way.
Yeah.
But the biggest one was definitely the building. What street was the building on?
It was on Tatonia.
Tatonia, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. 8 units, man. That's something. Really
Yeah, those was the days. Yeah. So we came through the struggle and long ways, you know, but we made it.
Mm-hmm.
But I appreciate my wife. She wanted, you know, house and space, and that's why we moved from Butch. I mean, everything was done. The Butch didn't need nothing.
Right.
And we moved from there to where we're at now. And I only agreed to buy that house because I know she liked entertainment.
Yeah.
She loved to have you guys come over and spend the night. You don't have to be worried about getting up and running because you ain't going home for a while.
Right, for sure.
Yeah. And everybody liked her cooking.
Oh yeah.
But she would put it on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of how it led from one to the next. But I've been blessed all my life, Nick. Just me looking back on my life, I came through some dangerous territory. Snakes is loose, but that didn't stop me. See, you better open your mouth, because I'm coming through.
Come on. Snakes on the loose.
Yeah.
Horses bucking.
Yeah.
Oh, tell that story, because we wasn't recording when you said that last night. That was a crazy story when you said about the horse that almost kicked you, but you split to the side.
Yeah.
Can you tell that story again?
Well, it was a mule, but the kicking was the same.
Same concept, right?
Same concept. You don't know if you got kicked by a horse or a mule, because both of them is powerful kickers.
Oh, man.
Anyway, I knew this mule didn't want me breaking the man. He didn't want me on his back. And I walked him to the field a few times. I said, wait a minute. You're supposed to be on your back. I ain't supposed to be out here walking. I got on his back, and he bucked around there a little bit, but when you put the draw halter, I never did explain to you how a draw halter work. When it's set up, I have to show you on a bridle how it works, but if you got a draw halter, it don't let him be free.
Okay.
He can't get his head below his knees
To start bucking.
and start bucking. Now he can do the huckabuck if he can get his head down below his knees. He can put that hind part way up there.
So you keep his head up.
Keep his head up. You have to be strong enough to do that. And you have to be willing to do it. Because if you ever get just lying loose in your hand, he's in charge then.
You don't want that.
No, you don't want him in charge, because he got the strength that ain't never been measured.
And he's ready to test it out on you.
That's right. In fact, he would love to have me test it on, because he didn't want me on his back in the first place. Yeah. So when you got to hold him with your left hand, because you need your right hand for that stick I was telling you about.
Right.
You need a stick. That's a guidepost there.
Right.
And if he try to bite you, you don't hold back on him. Let him have it. And so that's the key. You can't be scared, and you can't be weak, or you can't be no mule breaker. He gonna break you.
Gotcha.
So that's the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
But you mentioned one time where he was in the barn, right? Or he was in the stable.
He was in the stable, and I'm ready to go back to the field. Go somewhere with him. And I stepped in the stall where he's at. I've been doing that before.
Right.
And he ain't act up. But this time, looked like he was waiting on me. So when he stepped in the stall this time, I'm gonna nail him.
He had a plan this time.
He had a plan. I'm telling you, man, that mule almost killed me. If I hadn't made the turn, I mean, he took both of these sides out.
Man.
Because he grazed me after I turned.
Mm-hmm. To the side.
Yeah.
And it still grazed
He still grazed me.
And but he hit the wall?
He hit the wall.
And did he knock it all down?
No, he didn't knock it down. This was on logs.
Okay.
Bun. And when I turned, and he nailed me with both feet, I had on a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I put my t-shirt up, and his graze mark, one right here and one on the back. He was going for a home run, man.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yes,
I
sir.
can't imagine that. And you said he left a mark on the wall, didn't
His footprint is on the wall.
he?
Yes.
Oh, that is.
It wasn't just a
insane.
mark, his whole footprint, both of them.
He was ready to chop you in half.
He killed me dead.
Man.
Yes, sir. And what you think I did after?
Probably hit him in the head with that stick.
No, I didn't have the stick at that point. I'm just now getting the bridle to put on him.
Oh, okay.
So I climbed up in the loft of the barn, put a rope around his neck, and then I come down, got the rope, then I put the bridle on him. And then I got my stick.
I knew that stick was coming.
Got to come.
I knew that was coming.
And I was laying it on him. And Papa was coming across the hill over here. And he didn't know what had happened. He didn't see nothing.
Right.
I was chastising the mule when he saw me. Don't hit that mule no more. And I ran back and fired a good one for him, you know. And he come to the fence, he gonna get through. And I hit the mule again. I was just about finished with him until he showed up, and I had to give him some more then. Don't hit that mule. So I let him go. What did he do? I said, he tried to kill me. I said, come on, I'll show you. I went in and showed him the mule footprints, and I showed him my scrapes, back and front. See, that's why I'm whooping him.
What did he say to that?
He didn't say nothing else. He went on in the house. And I had to give him a few more licks, just for full measure, you know.
Just let him know he didn't get saved by Papa, huh?
Right, right.
Yeah, I probably would have felt the same animosity. I understand that completely.
And from that time on, me and that mule we had some getting the understanding together.
And now, were you the only one out of your brothers that was breaking mules? Why were you the mule breaker?
See, the way we stacked up, Luther was the breaker.
Okay.
I was the tester.
AKA little brother.
Yeah. Come on, let's see if we got him broken enough. And he told me Somersets. No, he ain't broken enough. We got to break him some more. See, Gene wasn't gonna get on you.
Okay.
He wasn't gonna talk Gene into it.
I wasn't playing that.
No, and David wasn't gonna get on him. So I was the only one left. Brown was too little.
Okay.
So I was the only one left. And I was actually the only one brave enough to do it.
And this before Uncle TL was even born, huh? Or was he Was he just a baby?
He was too little
Right.
to even think about trying to break a mule.
Right, right.
No. So I was the pick.
Wow. But you the right one. You had the resume because you weren't afraid and you wasn't weak.
Wasn't weak. And I'd never been weak. I don't remember being weak, too weak to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't scared either. So you put them two together, you like come up with some answers. But I done hit that mule sometimes. I thought I broke his jaw.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
And he never did like me. He never did like me.
Of course not.
No.
Of course not.
No.
He said that's the dude that keep on trying to sit on me and hit on me.
Yeah. Yeah, so. And if you want to add this to it,
Okay.
I got to the place where I didn't believe a mule or horse could throw me.
Mm. Yeah, you was feeling yourself.
I was feeling it, man. Just we put that draw horse on him, and I got him with this hand. And if he act up,
Got him with this hand.
yeah, let him know who's in charge.
Wow.
And I was kind of like that even growing up. I didn't holler at people. Somebody mad at me. I don't bring a lot of noise. What I'll do to you if you come over here and blah blah blah. No, I didn't do all that.
Mm-hmm.
If I done something to you, talk to me about it. We see can we work it out.
Mm-hmm.
And don't start hitting first. Cause you make me mad, then you got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but it was a good life. I kind of enjoyed it in a way.
It definitely sounds like it.
I should have stayed home another year after before I left.
You was probably ready to go be with your older brothers.
Well, I had a free ride to Milwaukee.
Okay.
Because they was in the car, right? And I thought, I'm going to take this while it's available.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know when this car coming back.
Yeah, it may not come back. Yeah, so that was part of the reason. But the reason I'm saying I should have stayed because Brown was too little. He was the next in line. And he was too young, too little. And Mama thought she knew how to farm. And she was going to take Brown and make a crop.
But he didn't know what was...
No.
He ain't never worked out there before.
He never been in charge before. He didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Mama didn't know what to do, how to do it. Because she had depended on us to do all the work in the field.
So you could have helped that transition a little bit.
Yeah, I would have had, if I had to stay there another year or two, the thing wouldn't have went the way they went.
Right.
Because Mama would listen to me. She wasn't going to listen to Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And Papa was no fighter. He was trying to get along.
Mm-hmm.
And Mama thought she knew, but she didn't know all of it.
Mm-hmm. But everything happens for a reason, though.
Yeah.
And it ended up working out.
But see, if it had went the other way, you may not be sitting there.
Right. Right. That's why I say it all worked out the way it was supposed to.
Yeah. So.
At least in my opinion.
Yeah. You wouldn't be sitting there. It'd be somebody else sitting there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I said, look, from where I'm sitting at, I think it worked out the way it was supposed to. Now, maybe your mom might disagree with me. She might have had it a different way.
Yeah.
But I like how things turned out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing you just mentioned that made me think about Uncle Lonnie in this whole thing, right? Because I don't really hear you talk about him like in Mississippi. Was he handicapped at that time, like as a kid, as a boy?
He was born handicapped.
Right. So he was never out there, with you
No.
guys.
No.
But he also was in that car when you mentioned that he was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get another ride. He was also a part of that group that went to Milwaukee, right?
No, not at that time.
Oh, okay.
When he left home, he went to New York
Oh.
with Irene and Ann, and he was.
Was that before or after you went to Milwaukee?
That was after.
Okay.
That was
Gotcha.
after I went to Milwaukee.
Gotcha.
But Lonnie never went from Mississippi to Milwaukee. He went to New York.
Gotcha.
And that was to get some help to straighten his legs.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he went there. Mama had been trying all her life since he was born, trying to get some help.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't nobody know what to do. No doctors around. Didn't know.
Wow, so dig that. So he was the only person that you knew of that was handicapped when you was growing up.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we didn't know nothing else to do. He got big for carrying on his shoulder, and my uncle made a basket with a handle on each end,
Okay.
a long basket, and we carried him in that.
Huh, how about that?
Yeah.
Almost like a makeshift wheelchair.
Right.
So he would sit in the basket and you could just pull him. But
No, we carried it.
Oh, you was carrying it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It would take two. You got to have two to carry that.
But when you mentioned working out in the cotton field and, breaking these mules and tending to the farm chores, feeding the animals and things like that, he would be in the house.
Lonnie?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. He never got involved. He never rode a horse, I don't think.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha, man. No, I was just thinking about that. Cause like in all the memories and stuff, I was like, man, yeah, he was handicapped the whole time. So was he helping Aunt Evelyn and Aunt Ann and all of them, or he was it like in the bed most of the time?
Well, he would get up,
Uh-huh.
but he didn't have any assigned chores to do
Gotcha.
because he was handicapped. He couldn't walk, and he walked on his hands and knees.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them said that we didn't do fair about him. Maybe we didn't, but we didn't know how to be fair, what to do.
Right.
Yeah, we ain't never saw nothing like that.
I mean, I feel like that's understandable.
Yeah.
As long as he was level-headed about it, because I could kind of see how. Well, I mean, I ain't gonna say you feel like you're better than folks, because he knows why. He knows because he was handicapped. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he felt guilty, as a kid when you got your brothers that's working all day long, and you're supposed to be out there, but you can't. I mean, I've never been in that situation before, but I can imagine how maybe you feel a little bad, like I could be helping out.
Yeah. We all wanted to do more,
Mm-hmm.
but we was handicapped.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't do because we didn't know what to do from there.
Right. And especially with him being the only person around that's like that.
Yeah.
That's
Before he started the school, he was a pretty good sized fellow.
Mm.
And he used to meet me down to the road. And I would, one hand, catch him by the arm,
Mm-hmm. Put him like that?
throw him on my shoulder. And he would make sure that he'd come down to the road so he can get that ride back to the house.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Did he ever go to school with you?
No, I had left before he started the school.
Oh, okay.
But he went to school. He went to Saints.
Okay.
Same school I went to.
Gotcha. Saints. Good old Saints. Man.
I think that out of all of us, I think there was 4 didn't go to Saints.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was 4.
Well, the youngest man, probably.
Let's see. I'd have to go back through the tribe to get it all straight. Those are questions I used to be able to snap them out.
Hey.
Can't snap them now.
That's why we have these sessions, so we can dig a little bit,
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
But it must have been a trip the first time you saw Uncle Lonnie in a wheelchair and he was able to just move around and, like just doing his own thing. Was that pretty cool to see?
It was. It was. And the first time he came, let's see, we all met down home because we know that was a big thing with Mama. And so we met down home, and you thought that it was Christmas all over again. Mama hollered, boy, she alarmed up the neighborhood.
Uh-huh. All my babies back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, that would have been a sight to see, man. I wish I could see that.
Yeah, that was something. And we didn't even have the foresight to take pictures.
Right.
We should have had pictures of seeing him the first time walking.
Mm-hmm. Man,
But
yeah.
we didn't know. Didn't know what to do.
It's all good.
Yeah. But life goes on.
Mm-hmm. Sure do. Well, that's all I got for today, Grandpa. You got anything else you want to add?
Let me just add this. I know you heard stories about how Mama whooped us and so forth.
Mm.
And she did.
Mm-hmm.
Not just whoop, but she beat us sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was because most of the time she was doing that whooping, she was pregnant.
Mm.
And she was having trouble trying to get along and so forth. And I told her, I think I'm the only one that told her that I thanked her for whooping us, giving us an extra.
Really? And what made you do that?
Well, I looked at it this way. I said, those extra stripes that you put on us, and you did put extra, I'm not soft pedaling that. You did extra, because you're supposed to do, the punishment's supposed to fit the crime.
Right.
And I broke a window glass, just playing, and she whooped me like I stole something big. But here's the way I said it. I said, if you had not gave me those extra, and some of the rest of us, those extra stripes, we might have turned out jailbirds. And I'm thanking you because it didn't happen. We didn't turn out to be jailbirds.
Right.
We turned out to be decent people.
All of y'all.
Growing up and trying to make a decent living and so on. So I'm laying these like prayers you prayed, they laid up on a shelf. The prayers don't go unaccounted for. They are there. And they're there for a reason. And when you recognize that, maybe you can go by some of that too. Do things or not do certain things so that you turn out a decent person.
Yes, sir.
Because we don't do that by ourselves. We're all born in sin, and we have to come to the Savior for refuge. So I says, those extra stripes you gave us is laid up on the shelf when we need it. With 8 boys, somebody gonna do something they ain't supposed to do.
Right.
Somewhere along the line. And that's how I phrased that out and compared it, and that's why I said it.
Yeah.
I don't think nobody else did.
That's really insightful. Definitely. I mean, that makes me think better for her to have given you that punishment than the state. You understand? Than
Yeah.
the officers than the law.
Yeah.
Cause they'll dish it too. You know what I mean? But I'd rather get it at home instead of getting it from the law enforcement.
Right. So that's what I told her, and that's why I phrased it that way. Now, some of that had to come to me. I didn't have those thoughts like that when I was getting a whooping or beating. I wanted her to turn me loose.
Yeah, that's how you usually go.
Yeah.
You're like, why is you beating me?
I told her one time when I was picking beans, she told me, go out there and pick the beans. She had went out. I didn't know she went out there and saw the beans. Mm-hmm. But underneath, that's where the picking stopped. Whoever was picking beans, when they got to that point, they stopped picking them. She went out there and there was a whole lot of them. Then she told me to go get them. I went out there and I got to that place where everybody else been stopping. That's where I stopped. Did you get them all? Now she know. I came back with a little old half-a-gallon bucket. Mm-hmm. Did you get them all? I wasn't expecting her to ask me that question. I said, I got all I can find. I want to know if you got them all. I don't know why she asked me that second time. I thought I answered it pretty good. Not expecting that question.
All right.
So I got all I can find. What else can I do? She put whatever she had down. Didn't say no more to me. Went into that corner where she keep them switches at.
Oh man.
Man, I'm telling you, when she got through with me, I was an expert on picking beans.
Oh, you gonna learn today?
Yeah.
Oh man.
But she would come like, you're hard-headed. I'm getting tired of y'all being hard-headed. When I tell you to do something, I want you to do it. Mm-hmm. And I said, Mama, I can pick beans. I can find them. I told her I got all I could find. I can find them. I can pick them. If you just lay off there a little bit and give me a chance to show you, prove to you, I can pick beans. She didn't even stop then. She kept on whooping. But she finally backed off. And when I come next time with the beans, I got all them hidden ones back.
Ready, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, so, yeah, I thought that was a pretty good answer. Mm. Did you get them all? I got all I can find. I mean, what better answer than that you want?
Right. I did my best.
Yes, sir. So, but anyway.
And that's her right here, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Wow. But that's a younger picture. That's not no recent picture. Mm-hmm. I think those were pictures she'd taken short after she got married.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah. But those were the days that if you spare a rod, you spoil a child. Mm-hmm. Mama didn't want no spoiled children.
Mm-hmm. And that's in the Bible.
Yeah.
That's in the Bible.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I tell you, when a lady got through with me, I couldn't sit down. I couldn't stand up. I had to lean up against the wall. That was all she had, and that was all I could take.
Didn't know what to do.
And didn't know how to do it.
Oh man!
But I didn't need all that much whooping. I could have got by with a whole lot less than what she gave me.
Well, she had to give him a whip like that a few times. He was like, yeah, I don't need that again.
Let me tell you one story, then we'll shut it down for now. And
Okay.
you may have to take some of this out. We talked a good little while.
It's all right.
Anyway, she had told me to do something, and I didn't want to do it. And I'm going to leave home. She come out on the porch and called me. I had got a little ways up from the house.
Okay.
On George Road. And she called me. I didn't answer her, but I did stop walking away. She said, come on back now. Oh, I stood there for a while. I didn't turn around. I just stood there. But I wasn't walking away. And she says, come back now or don't come back at all. Well, I mean, I wasn't running away from home or nothing. I was just going to go out and hang out a little bit, you know. I'll be back in a little while.
Don't jump to conclusions.
No. And I stood there when she said that. That changed my momentum here. And I turned around and I walked back slow. Now she's standing on the porch. I'm on the ground, which I'm right in striking distance. And I walked up to the porch. I says, of course this was my fault. I said to her, what you want? But I didn't have near the right tune. Well, nothing right about that.
After you walked back slow too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was upset.
What you want? And she come down with a slap and looked like it covered both sides of my face. I think it did. I didn't have that much slap material on one side. I think she slapped both sides.
Covered the whole thing.
with coming from one direction. Wow,
Oh,
it's coming on that side.
The way only a mom can do.
Yeah. So that I never forgot.
Man.
So I did take it. That was all that she could muster up, and that was all I could stand. And me can't stand no more. And I says, the next woman slap me, it's gonna get it. And the only reason Mama didn't get it because she's Mama.
That's it.
That's the only reason. Because, man, I changed colors, I believe, 3 or 4 times in that. Oh, yeah. But she let loose on me, and that was all I could handle. Yeah.
Man, that's all right.
Yeah. So I think you can unhook us now. We about to cover. There's more stuff, but I can't think of everything.